Hey guys, Edgar Giffenig here, and today I would like to talk a little bit about tactic. There's a lot of videos on technique out there, but let's talk a little bit about smarter ways to play, and we're going to focus on the rally. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to give you 10 rules or 10 laws that you have to keep in mind to play smarter. Tactic is like a casino. What you want to do is you want to hit the shot that's going to give you the most chance or the best chance of winning the point possible. So when you're rallying, when both people are in the back, these are the 10 things that you should keep in mind. Number 1, do not beat yourself. Most matches in tennis, the player that loses because they just miss way too many shots. Sometimes the opponent doesn't have to do anything and they are able to win the match. So when you're playing, you should ask yourself very often, what is happening? Is the opponent really beating me or am I losing? So make sure that you hit nice and high over the net and that you're hitting the shots that you can actually control. Most of us like to play like the pros, and that huge Federer backhand looks great, but when we try it, it doesn't work quite as well. So we need to make sure that we know our game and that we know at what speed we can control the balls. And throughout the match, we need to play at that speed and we need to play the shots that we can control. So don't beat yourself. Number 1 rule. Number 2, when you're in the rally, adjust your swing to the incoming ball. In tennis, we kind of think a lot of times about the swing as being one thing. We're looking for this perfect swing, perfect way to hit the ball. But the reality is that every time the swing is a little bit different because we have to adjust to the incoming ball. So when the ball is coming very fast, for instance, shorten your swing. Don't take the racket so far back. Just keep it nice and short and just block it over. If the ball is coming very high, take your racket up a little bit higher. So you have to make sure that you're adjusting your swing to the incoming ball. It's not always the same way of swinging. And when you make a mistake and when you try to take the same swing on a slow ball, for instance, then you take on a fast ball, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. So adjust your swing. 3, a lot of times when we think about placing the ball, we're always thinking about right or left, but hit high when defensive or out of balance. We need to really control heights as well. And hitting high is a great way to get yourself back into the point. So whenever you're off the court or wherever you're really caught off balance, just hit a nice high ball back. The advantage of a high ball is it's gonna give you time to recover. And also, if it's high, usually it's gonna also be deep on the other side. And thirdly, it's very hard to hit high balls. Nobody really enjoys hitting the ball up high. So hitting high has a lot of advantages. When you're off the court, when you're off balance, hit high. 4, play neutral and defensive shots, mainly crosscourt. Tennis is a game of crosscourt. The crosscourt shot has a lot of advantages. First, you're hitting over the lowest part of the net. Then you have a lot more court to hit into. And third, when you're hitting crosscourt, you usually remain in a good position to cover the court. That means if I hit a crosscourt, the opponent cannot really hit an angle to the other side. Usually the best shot they can hit is a down the line to the other side from where I hit. So if I hit the ball crosscourt, I am placing myself in a good position for the next shot. So tennis is a game of crosscourt. Hit mainly crosscourt unless you can attack. And this is going to take you to this next point, number 5. When do we hit down the line? So if tennis is a cross-court game, should I hit down the line? Well, you should hit down the line when you can hurt the opponent. Why? Because although you're going to be a little bit off the best position to defend, you're going to be a little bit off the court when you're hitting that down the line shot. If you can hurt the opponent is not going to be able to hit that great cross-court angle. So if you hit down the line when the opponent is in balance, they are normally going to be able to just hit aggressively cross-court. And if they hit aggressively cross-court, you're going to be in trouble because you really have to run. So play cross-court most of the time unless you can hurt the opponent. If you can hurt the opponent, then you can change the shot to down the line. 6. Use angles when inside the baseline in an attacking position. Why is this? If I am way behind the court, and if I try to hit an angle, I'm going to have to hit it really close to the line, and my ball is not going to really pull my opponent off the court. It's going to be a lot different if I am inside the court and I try to hit that angle, because then I really have an angle and I'm able to hit the opponent off the court. Whenever I hit angles, the goal is to get the opponent to really move out of the doubles court. So when I'm hitting from way behind the baseline, I'm not going to be able to do it, and I am going to risk by getting too close to the sideline. If I'm inside the court, if I hit a good angle, although I'm risking a little bit by getting close to the sideline, I'm also gaining a lot by getting the opponent off the court. So use the angles when inside the baseline in an attacking position. Number 7. A great strategy in general is to strive to catch the ball on the rise. Why? Because if I catch the ball closer to where it bounces, I don't give my opponent as much time to recover. Just picture this. I hit a nice shot, get the opponent off the court. The opponent hits the ball back, and I wait way behind the baseline for the ball. So the opponent has a lot of time to get back to the middle of the court. But if I get inside the court and hit that ball early, 4 or 5 feet in front of the other option where I was waiting for the ball, then the opponent has a lot less time to recover, and I'm going to be able to force him to the other side of the court much easier. So strive to catch the ball as it rises or at the highest point of the bounce. That is a great strategy in general. Number 8. Seek to take the ball early when the opponent is in trouble. This is a little bit the same concept. You want to take time away from the opponent. So if you see that the opponent is stretched, they're probably going to play a defensive shot. If you can move into the court and take that ball right off the bounce, or even better, in the air and hit it to the other side, then you're going to be able to force the opponent without taking that much risk. So if the opponent is stretched, move in, try to catch the ball early and hit it to the other side to keep them on the defensive. Number 9. Vary the height, pace, spin, and placement. That is very important. A lot of times when we're rallying, we're always kind of hitting the same types of shots. If you hit the same types of shots, the opponent is going to get into a groove and is not going to make that many mistakes. But if you're varying the height, varying the pace, varying the speed, then it's very likely that the opponent will either hit a short ball to you that you can attack or make mistakes. So if you get into the rally, think about varying height, pace, spin, and placement. And number 10, against a drop shot, hit deep down the line. This is a mistake that I see very often. Somebody hits a drop shot against you, you come in running and you hit the ball cross court. And by doing that, you're going to leave the whole court open for a down the line passing shot. The best way to handle a drop shot is just go down the line deep. That way, you're in a very good position to cover the net. So these are just some of the basic tactical concepts when rallying. I went through them very quickly, but the main points are there. If you play and obey this tactical laws every time that you're playing singles and every time that you get into a rally, you're going to have a much better chance of winning the point. Enjoy your matches.